Oh, hello there.
Pete and Allie here from Two Tiny Wings. It is Thursday, and so welcome to Thursday Night Wings.
It's wing night, baby.
He's going to get it on a shirt. It is going to happen. Ginger, welcome. William, welcome. Ginger, I put this in a comment. I have to say that there is a teacher with whom I teach, and she is a Spanish teacher, and she reminds me so very much of you. So if you are still here, you asked at one point whether or not we should hang out, and I feel like I hang out with you all the time. That is kind of odd. Hello, Canada. How are you? Welcome. Welcome. I was just saying that Ginger had commented about us hanging out, and I said there's one teacher with whom I teach who very much reminds me of Ginger. Always upbeat, always positive. Seth, how are you? I saw you put up another bedtime story. We were watching What If, and we started teaching. You started teaching, so I'm going to watch that before bed, because it's been a day.
Yes.
It's been a couple of days.
I do kind of wish that people could see like us before the show. Whether it's like the setup, or all of a sudden we come up and the computer died, or I'm doing the like warm up that like Sharpay does.
Yeah. Okay. So first of all, yes, this man 100% is sitting here going. So
red leather, yellow leather.
Yes,
leather, yellow.
It's just an odd combination of High School Musical and Anchorman. So there's that. Lauren, hello. How are you? And then like what our general routine is, like an hour before 7:30, I'll come up here, I'll get everything all set up, I'll get everything checked. I'll inevitably put something in my brain. Gabby, hello, how are you? It's probably steamy down in Orlando. It is not steamy where we are today.
No, the heat finally broke.
Yeah, the heat finally broke, but we'll talk about the storms in a minute. But yeah, so I'll get everything set up for the stream, because this one here, he wears like his little like tech shirt, like, oh, I'm Darth Vader. No. He doesn't.
I'm
do
the
tech.
on-air talent.
Yeah, he's the face.
That's right. Oh,
He's the beauty.
That's right.
Yeah. So then I will figure out everything that needs to be done. I'll put something in my brain to remember to do. I will go downstairs, inevitably forget it. And tonight it was to plug in the computer. So, we come on upstairs at 8:15, ready to go through, get ready, sit down, everything's dead. I have to set everything back up. Anywho, Lauren, it's all right. 9:10, that's fine. You do you, because the raid is happening, and for the love of all that is good in this world, it is going to be glorious.
We're going to make
this happen. It's been 2 weeks ago. All of a sudden, your computer gave up the ghost. And last week, we thought there was a stream. There wasn't. So this is it, people. At the end of our stream, we're going to go to Lauren. We're going to go to Castle Capes and Clones.
Raid.
And we're all going to raid.
Raid.
Yep. We're going to bring our frozen grapes.
Type.
We're going to bring our snappies as loud as you can type. Again, this one, he's like a 2-finger typer. Mm-hmm. So, Ira Girl, how are you? All the way from Ireland. What time? What is the time? Are you not going to bed, or are you getting up?
It's gotta be like the middle of the night.
Yes, that is a...
Whatever it is in Gaelic, thank you.
Yeah, look at you bringing out the Gaelic. We are very big fans of Jacksepticeye.
I got her the Gaelic Gladiator
Yes.
U2s.
Yes, so that is something that is going to go into my classroom, because that's where we've been. For the past 2 days, we have had in-service, which basically means all of like the new rules, the new changes, setting up our classroom, setting up the school, getting together with administration, like the nuts and bolts.
And I think we might have mentioned on another one that I'm switching buildings. I'm going from the middle school to the high school, so I had to set all of that up and she's actually my mentor for the new things in the building. It's funny.
There have been multiple times where he has asked where rooms are. So the man who last week was sitting here saying, oh, I don't know where rooms, I know everything, I don't need a mentor. All of a sudden he's like, oh, where are we going for this meeting? So who needs a mentor now? This guy.
You're a good mentor.
I am a good mentor. I mean, this again.
She even brought me my mail today. It just showed up on my table. I was like,
and do you know, this man has the nerve to, when we're leaving the school, because now we're able to drive to school, 1:37 a.m. Well, hopefully, you could throw this on and just drift away to sleep. So this man, I was nice enough because his room is, I had to go to the office for something. His room is on the way from the office to my room. I was nice enough to stop at his mailbox, to get his mail, to just put it right on top of the pin bag. Do you know that when we were leaving, he's like, oh, my parking spot is right next to yours. I said, yeah, I know, because I dropped off your stuff.
It was wonderful. Thank you.
And he's like, oh, I thought it just appeared. I thought it just appeared, the man says to me. So
she's pretty good.
I try. Jesse, how are you? You're awesome. Awesome. So glad that you got your package. Everything ended up coming through okay. Good. Very exciting. We, by the way, everybody, are making an impromptu trip tomorrow because our district decided that we are going to be masked, which, for the indoors, because I mean, we're going to be with kids for an hour and a half at a clip. So great. So we need to, we're going to wear masks. And so we are going to go to the outlets tomorrow for an impromptu Disney, before Disney figures out that up here, all of the masking is coming back and jacks the prices. Because we could get the good Disney mask for $6 each. This is his concentrating face.
Gurevmo Agut. I don't know.
Gurevmo Agut.
Gurevmo Agut. I hope I said that right. If I'm close.
I think I win. So anyway, point being, if there's anything that you're sitting there like, oh my gosh, I wish I got there last week, we are going to be checking for a couple of things. If anything new pops up, we'll post it on our Instagram. The supply is a little funky.
Well, to that point, we're jumping a little bit ahead with the Disney news, but I had seen that they just announced.
I don't have this on.
And I forgot it, but they announced that they're
jumping forward to the B segment.
They're closing all the Disney stores, and it was unclear.
Rumor. So let's just
that they were gonna, because they had closed a bunch of them a couple months ago, and then there was a rumor about how many more they would close, and then the latest rumor I'd seen, I can't remember where I saw it, but it was a news bit that came across.
Yeah, you saw it on WDW News today. He monitors that a great deal. This is like Diz Twitter over here.
Diz Twitter, definitely.
I don't even know what I look at on Twitter. There's a lot of I look at puppy Twitter. That's what I'm very into dog Twitter. So this one is all into Diz Twitter. Yeah. And so he'll just randomly yell out Disney, some random Disney thing that, like today, it was oh, they're closing all the Disney stores. I'm like, what? Pause. And where are you getting this information?
And there's one I follow. It's a Disney history one where it's cool. They always post all these old historical Disney parks pictures. Great. It's really cool. I love it. She's like, dude, I don't care. Mary likes it. I'll show it to Mary and be like, oh, Dad, that's cool.
Yeah, so that's going to be his daily text to Mary. Hey, happy travel vlogs. How are you? So in Canada, they're closing. I think it's supply chain is super funky. Super funky right now. The one thing I'd said, they're trying to, since they have more on the Disney websites, they're just trying to drive the traffic to there so they won't have the in-person stores anymore. So yeah, which makes sense, especially because what's weird is we go to the outlet thinking, oh, it's an outlet, but a lot of the stuff, when we post stuff, we try to put the stuff up that we can get at a discount, because a lot of the stuff is just at cost. So so in Canada they're closing them. I'm seeing in the chat that in the UK and Ireland they're closing a bunch. Wow, yeah, so it's all the online model, which I don't know. I'm not an online browser. Tell us, those of you who are in here, who's online browsers versus I'll do it with some stuff with Hot Topic or Box Lunch. I'll kind of browse because they always have like 30% off.
I like if I know what I want, if there's something that I really know what I want, then it's like cool, I can go on, I can find it online and boom, and you can order quick.
Yeah.
But just browsing and kind of looking at stuff, I like going and seeing this stuff for real.
Yeah, he's not a shopper.
No,
you're not.
If I know what I want, it's just like boom, I want it.
I would say I'm sort of the same way. I start to get like edgy if we're just kind of walking around a store for 10, 15
you'll be like,
so
you have a period of time.
That's it. We're
and
done.
so all of a sudden be like, no, we're done now. I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah, we're done. So that's why, I mean, like just popping in and out of the outlet is perfect for us. The other funny thing that happened to us is, so this one has not necessarily, again, all of like the technical stuff, like I figure out, okay, we got a new camera, so I figured I did all the research. I got some wonderful help from some wonderful, wonderful people. You all know who you are, so thank you very, very much. And I'm the one who figures out, okay, we're getting this for a channel. Gabby, we will talk about Universal. I'm going to add our Universal thoughts to the list. So I'm picking up my pen. It's going on here right after I finish this story. So some things from Box Lunch, I think came yesterday. And I'm saying, oh, we have to do an unboxing for Thursday Night Wings. So we were talking about like what we wanted to unbox. And all of a sudden he reaches into the box. And so he pulls out a Funko. I'm not going to tell you all which one. And he's like, what is this? And I said, it's a Funko. And he starts to open it. And I said, what do you think we do here?
I was like, I wanted to see it.
This is our entire like thing. We're not getting Funko. I mean, we have them, but like they live up here. They live up here and they live on our desks at school. So the inner workings, it's like Christmas. Things just show up wrapped under the tree and he doesn't know. Ella, hello, how are you? So we're going to let's talk about Universal real quick and our feelings on Universal.
Okay, so I'll start.
Okay. Ella, I'm writing your question.
It was
down,
like 2 years ago, we were going back and forth because we had a trip planned. We were like, we should try to get Universal in there because we hadn't been in a while. And we watched a lot of vlogs and all that.
So when he says haven't been in a while, he's been to, we've both been once. Universal opened in like the late 80s, early 90s. So I went once when I was in seventh grade. I mean, there was like nothing there. Mm-hmm. There was nothing there. These like were the days California Adventure. Of like Jaws and King Kong.
Islands of Adventure.
Yeah.
And so we were like, especially with Harry Potter, like we do like Harry Potter. We read all the books. I'm a Ravenclaw.
I'm a Slytherin. Me
and Mary are Ravenclaws. Aiden's a Gryffindor.
Yes.
So we like that, and so we wanted to see it. The problem we had was we were like, all right, well, we want to go for more than one day so we could try to see everything and see both parks.
Yeah.
And it was gonna be like a couple of $1,000s in order to get like the tickets for the couple of days and back and forth and all that. And we had already spent the money to go to Disney World. We were like, that's a lot. It was a lot.
And to get there.
And to get there.
Oh, Mickey's at Universal and here we are.
Well, you live like down the road. If we lived down the road, we'd probably be there all the time.
It would be really. That's another conversation. Is like how our Disney experience would change living there. Like Lauren, I would love to have a conversation with you about how you do Disneyland, given that like it's your local
closer,
park
that you're closer
as opposed
to it.
But I mean, the other thing about Universal is that the 3D doesn't work with my eyes sometimes. So like Flight of Passage is sometimes screwy for me. And so to have a park with so many screen-based attractions and to plunk down that kind of money I'm worried that we would go and like...
And to that end, I think we've watched, like, we've been to Disney World a lot. We know Disney World a lot.
Yeah.
But one of the things that we always look at is, like, we don't know what most of the rides are like at Universal because you can't take cameras on anything. Right. So, like, we've watched a lot of vlogs. So even, like, before if something's new at Disney World, we haven't been there, we can watch a vlog if we want. We can see some different, even, like, hotels. But there's so much stuff that you can't videotape on at Universal that there's a lot of stuff we don't even know what it would look like. All the Harry Potter stuff. Like, we know what the lands will look like, but, like, the rides and stuff. Yeah.
What we do want to do is I'm just gesturing with a pen now, so I'm going to put my pen down. That's a teacher thing. What we do want to do
definitely, I could definitely see that.
Yep. Of course you are, Matt. Of course. That totally makes sense. That totally makes sense. Yeah, of course. And and I bet that Mackenzie is like a Ravenclaw too. Yeah. So what we do want to add to our list is a trip out to Disneyland in California.
We have been talking about that a bunch. Is figuring out once travel, it's, like, now that travel's getting better between the states, and hopefully if it keeps getting better, that picking a trip to California to see.
Because I think we're just going to let our annual passes lapse because full disclosure, here we are. Let's just sit down, people. So Mary's program is 3 years, so she doesn't have, like, the come home for summer. So I don't know. We'll see. We're still embracing the idea that Ginger, that makes total sense. That makes total sense, Ginger, that you are Gryffindor and Hufflepuff. Yes. What is it? Is it like a Hufflegrin or a Huffledore or a Grifflepuff or some? Yeah. Anyway, so that's a long-winded way of saying we were going. There have been multiple times where we were going to make our way to Universal. Hasn't happened yet. Doesn't mean it won't happen. There's a lot about Disney that we like. Yeah. Oh, Lauren, 1,000,000%. We will. Yes. We will hang out. We will take Disneyland by storm. So, okay. So, Ella asked, what is one pin that we want that we don't have? Ella, we're so new to actually looking at pins and figuring out, like, okay, this one. So we started, pin, like, actually collecting. And so this one, the first thing he does is he pulls up an article all about, like, the most expensive
I was
Disney
like, what are the most expensive Disney pins out there? And it's like, this one's like $10,000. It's all these, like, the one was really cool. It's an error pin. It was 101 Dalmatians, but both Pongo and Perdita have the white and black ears. Like, they don't have, like, the is it Pongo, I think, that's supposed to have
black ears? Black ears. Okay. Oh, so it's like a mess up?
It, and so it's a mess up, and it's like $10,000. I was like, that's cool. It's like a throwback to my...
It's not that cool.
It's a throwback...
It's not $10,000. It's not a car cool.
When I was a little kid, like under 10 years old...
Tell me how it's a car cool.
I was like a baseball card, like collecting baseball cards, and that was always...
So did I. And full disclosure. Like, so did I. Thought that I was going to find some mega card...
But that was always one of the cool things
the books
that I wanted to collect was, like, the ones that were the error cards, like, so that something because the ones that were
you used to look it up in, like, the newspaper magazine thing, like, every couple months.
It was a 1989 Topps Mark McGuire Record Breakers card where the printing had messed up something underneath his leg, and so there was, like, a mess up, and I had that. It was actually, like, worth, I don't know. At the time, I was like 10. It was worth like a couple of bucks, and I was like, I thought it was awesome.
You're like, this is it. This is my future. I'm hanging on to this one.
I have no idea where it's at now. Watch it. Probably Google it. It's worth $10,000 or something, but I have no idea where it's at. But that was like I remember stopping at the baseball card shop on the way home from school because I walked home from school like all through middle school, and I remember just going through and like looking at the cards. I wouldn't buy anything. I just would like look at them. So. They throw the pin collecting kind of it reinvigorates that kind of
neat.
Kind of thinking. Yeah.
It's really neat. I don't know. That's a really good. What is one pin? I'm trying to think of now, like all the pins that we have flipped through and seen that. oh my goodness, I have to have that one.
I think for me, there's.
You could see my eyes like glaze over.
I'm leaning more and more like wanting to the attractions type pins are the stuff that I like. And again, I think I've said it before in either other videos or I can't remember, but we got a Mystic Manor Hong Kong Disneyland pin that it is gorgeous.
Yeah.
And Hong Kong there's a bunch of the Hong Kong Disneyland attraction pins that are really, really cool. And so I like some of that, like the uniqueness of some of the, even like the international attractions pins are cool.
I will tell you, here's what I wish we had done. I wish we had started collecting sooner, but not like the way that we're collecting now. I wish we had done something like get a pin with a date on it from each of our trips. That's what I wish we had done. Because we ended up, before we started collecting, we got an Ariel Beach Club pin when we went December of 2019. We got like the holiday pin and we were going to give it away. We never ended up giving it away. And so now it's one of the cooler, like, limited edition pins that we have. So that's what I would say. But now, I mean, what I started to do is, so let's talk a little bit, because I said that we were going to talk about some pin collecting. So here we go, people. Mystic Manor, by the way, just looks so amazing. There's stuff that is happening, and I don't know how they do it. Someday we'll get there, but I don't know how they do it. Elsa, exactly. Our Elsa. See, now I'm thinking about our Elsa pins. Ella, I agree. There's so many amazing, amazing pins. So people who collect pins, I've been seeing a lot of like Instagram sales. Is that good? Do you then look at the Instagram, do you look at what's out there and then like price compare? Like, how do you know? Because I'm starting to look at that kind of stuff. And again, that is a dangerous road. We are on a path now. We're on a path, and this is an exciting path, but this is a dangerous path that we are on. So if you talk to me about Instagram pin sales, because I mean, I'm happy to like find the ones that we can find in the outlet. That's wonderful. Mickey Loot is on here. They do an amazing job of picking out pins, and I think that is wonderful. Oh, Ginger, you, by the way, if you start asking people for pins, you're on the road with us. You're about like 10 steps behind us, but you're on that road. And I love the idea to collect ride pins. Like that's really cool. We like attraction-y kind of things. Seth, what is WTP? Got it. Okay, so that makes sense. I've seen Fantastic. I've seen Diz Family Adventure. Okay, that makes sense. That makes
so find some
sense.
Find some sellers.
Find some sellers
that you know
that
you trust and are going to get what you
and go
want.
from there.
Yeah,
all right.
I like I'll show my bag.
Speaking of pins, this man has been clinking his little way around the school. So here we go.
This is my bag. Now, I don't know. I don't know how close
Ella, the fantasy pins are so super cool.
But that's my bag. But I started to realize,
what you do. Look, there we go with the production. So you tilt it this way so everyone can see those. And there you go.
And so the big thing that, and I started to realize this because I had wanted to collect a lot of the attraction stuff, and then I started to realize, like, I've already got a bunch. So like you can see, where is it on this side? These are all the attraction pavilion stuff from Epcot.
We actually, because he and Mary were very into trading pins, and so they would each go down with a lanyard and they would try and complete sets. So he was working on that. She had like these little lanyard pins. That was our first complete set.
And it would literally be like,
Lauren, it's okay. It's Thursday.
We would just have a bunch of random pins, and then we'd say like, all right, when we start to see something that we could collect, we would just like pick something while we were there. So like I've got a bunch of Figments because I don't know, we like Figment, and then I'd seen these ones. It was the Mickey Mouse ears where it's the cast costumes that are Mickey Mouse ears. And I started to realize I've got a lot of different attraction stuff on here.
Yeah.
And so that's the thing that I like kind of more seeing the newer stuff that's out there, I guess.
Yeah.
Versus
they have a lot of neat newer stuff. And yeah, Matt Davis, he has seen the bag in person, and so he can verify the clinkiness of the bag. and Seth said in one of the comments that you have to get pin locks. You have to get pin locks because
I gotta just like
things drop off the bag, and it's
working so far.
thing.
But yeah, like the one clasps that I have, they're not, some of them aren't great, and the Mickey Mouse head ones.
This is why you come here, people, on a Thursday night to talk clasp content. Clasp content.
But you're right. I got, especially the ones that are heavier. Like, so now
he has some heavy pins. How much would you say that thing weighs with all those pins on there?
I mean, it's rather weighty. I mean, it's definitely like.
He like throws the top of the bag.
And then I also don't want to like flip it up and have them like clinking all over the place.
No, I think the kids are gonna like.
Oh yeah.
That.
I've got the Pandora ones on there for the for.
There you go.
Yeah.
This is exciting. He spent it was a whole afternoon. And
I found a bunch more. Like I found a bunch more that we had just lying around. I was like,
see, our girl says. It's almost time to go to sleep, but the last thought she's having is get pin locks, because you know what's going to happen. We all know what's going to happen, okay? We start school on Monday. Next Thursday night wings is going to be, I lost half my pins. So yeah, it's going to be. And I will also say, Matt, like Mickey Loop Matt, I don't know how you don't collect like everything. I don't know how you do it, because we have literally done pickups like twice, but we've ended up coming home with more than we intended to come home with. So I don't know how you do it. Hello, Lisa. How are you? Welcome. We are talking about pins. We talked a little bit about Universal versus
By the way,
Disney.
Elizabeth, you asked about plushies. Real quick. I'll be right back.
Oh no. Oh gosh. Oh, we talked about this. There he goes. We talked about this in an unboxing like ages ago. I know exactly what he's going to get because the rest of them are in school. I will say my favorite plushie that here she is.
This is easily by far my favorite plushie, because the one wedding anniversary is cotton.
The one, like literally the first wedding anniversary. And so I got this man. This is
by far my favorite. It's huge and I love it.
And it's been with us for 21 years. 20 years, actually. 20 years.
So this was in our first apartment.
Yeah.
He lived in our first apartment.
He lived in Mary's room for a while. He lived in Mary's room
for a little while. He's right. And one of the funny stories was last year when we had online school, there was a bunch of times where I had to stream in from home, and so I set up the desk and everything in our bedroom, and so I needed a background for that. So he ended up being my background, and I got like sunglasses, and I put sunglasses on him, and every so often I'd put like different stuff. But he was my background for online schooling when I did school from home. So
yeah. So my favorite plushie, I have one of the Bigfoot plushies, and it's the Cheshire Cat. And I like that because it is perfect. You can use it as a pillow. You can just like put it on a blanket. Like it's great. I love the Bigfoot plushies.
He's the only Tigger that did not go to school. The rest of them are.
That should not. Can you imagine? Let's imagine that making its way into school, because like everything we bring in, we have to bring in.
He's very big. He's very big.
Anyway, Elizabeth, welcome. Yeah, he's been with us. Mm-hmm. I got him because it was cotton and paper, and then I got him one share of Disney stock. Yeah. So we are shareholders.
I get my annual like voting sheet, and I have my.
We're not shareholders. Has it? Because we do like the drip thing, and I don't think we've made it to a second share yet. So another 20 years. But anywho, the copper, Lisa, we will, you never know where those things pop up. So we will put it on our keep an eye out list. And I will also say, Mickey Luke, Matt, we, for one of our theater fundraisers, the kids sell chocolate. I keep the chocolate in my room. And so I understand about like I held off because I'm like, if I try one of these chocolate bars, it's going to be like every day. I held off for a good 6 months.
Yeah.
No more.
We used to. I was over at one school and she was at the other, but we would like Google Meet so we could have lunch together. And all of a sudden it was one day she gets up, she walks back, and all of a sudden I'm like, what you eating there? She's like,
crinkle.
She's like, be quiet. It's been a long year. Eats the chocolate bar. I was like, all right, cool. There you go.
It's great. And now we get to do that although we don't have the same lunch. So
no.
I don't know. Matt Davis, if you have the same lunch as him, you'll have to go down and just harass him. Just harass him. Mm-hmm. Ginger, thank you so much. Thank you so very much for stopping by. Have a wonderful evening, my dear. So we will see you soon. Everybody, Ginger, she streams on Saturdays, so definitely check her out and join her channel. Let's talk some Disney news. Let's talk Disney, shall we? Oh, this one with his little Sharpie and his little like yellow pad. The big news is
some of you guys probably heard the Disney Genie. They announced Fast Pass, Max Pass out at Disneyland. No more. Let me see if I can get some of the details.
We talked about this last week.
We did, yeah.
And so while he's doing the details, favorite musical. Oh, Gabby. Hamilton right now. Hamilton is transcended.
Dear Evan Hansen.
Oh, yeah. It's so much better in person than the soundtrack. Hades Town. Those three. Those three.
It's
and
hard.
We're going to put Book of Mormon on the list because you should laugh, which means we should then put the producers
what's your favorite?
on the list.
We gave her 4. She asked what's her favorite, and we gave her 4.
Karen, welcome. How are you?
All right.
Okay,
details.
so the man with a Sharpie and a pad. Here we go.
Disney Genie.
Yes.
Is basically going to be an extension of the magical, the My Disney Experience. That's the free part. And it sounds to me like it's basically going to be...
Susan, how are you?
It's going to be a real-time kind of... And I've seen some screenshots of it. A real-time updating of your trip planning for the day. And so they're going to use... And they said they're going to use things like AI and GPS, like location services, to basically say, hey... Here's what the wait time is now, and they're actually going to be able to kind of like industrial engineering it, say, but the predicted wait time 2 hours from now is going to only be 10 minutes. So, hey, why don't you wait now and go get lunch over at this restaurant instead, or go or at this attraction now instead. And you're going to be able to kind of list, here's all my priorities of the things that I want, and then the program itself will kind of suggest to you the order in which you should do them to maximize your time. That's the free part.
Yeah, where it just basically says, it just sort of guides you around the park. And Lauren Suddenly Seymour, let's just all take a moment. That gets belted many times
now,
in the car.
It's the one thing, it's kind of logistically, it seems like they're trying to streamline everything into a little bit more one-stop shopping. Like right now, My Disney Experience is like virtual queues are here and mobile order is here and my fast passes were here. Or now it'll be all in kind of, it's supposed
all
to be
in the Genie.
In one spot is kind of the way they were marketing it.
Great. That's not the controversy.
Genie Plus. $15 for Disney World. $15 per ticket, per person,
Susan.
Per day.
Yes, Susan. Yes. So will we.
And $20
the woman's a genius.
Yeah, $20 per person, per ticket, per day at Disneyland, which we talked about last week with Lauren, I think is the same price as Max Pass.
Yes, that's what Max Pass used to be.
And so they're calling it the Lightning Lane, which I guess they're probably you're going to see a lot more lightning. Lots of ka-chow, lots of lightning McQueen.
Which means lots of Mater.
Yep.
And full disclosure, Toad Mater, I do not. I know, Karen, itineraries, we were big. We could work that Fast Pass system like nobody. We were so... flipping good at it.
We're so good at same day fast passes.
So
Aiden was watch one of our old videos. Aiden was the fast
December
pass
2019.
king.
He would be fast pass. He'd be like Fast Pass Kings on it. By the way, tomorrow the vlog comes out where Aiden starts to talk, and it's just like, it's not even that many rides. It's just us walking around like an afternoon of Epcot, and I think we do like Spaceship Earth, but it's just Aiden. It's just Aiden being Aiden, and it's wonderful. And oh, I'm so excited.
Genie Plus, you're gonna have access to the Lightning Lane, one attraction at a time. some, but not all the e-tickets, and that's where it's so
it's like extra, like Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is extra.
Yeah, but like it was like the examples they used, I think, were Thunder Mountain and something else, Pirates maybe, something like that. So those level will be included in that. Now, what was interesting, and I saw it in one place, but not nowhere else where they talked about this. Resort guests will be able to book that first Lightning Lane pass at 7 a.m.
Karen, hi, how are you?
Non-resort guests will have to wait until they're into the park. So kind of like the virtual queue opens up at 7, resort guest Lightning Lane will open up at 7 too. So there will be an advantage. You'll be able to get up at 7, and if you want to get on Thunder Mountain, boom, you can get right. You can basically.
So that's the advantage. I had suspected that they might offer it as a perk, like a complete perk if you were staying in the resort, but apparently. Okay, so it's just that.
Now, so they kind of brought Max, it seems like it's sort of like Max Pass at Disneyland. Yeah. And again, that's kind of like, okay, they're also bringing the Disneyland Paris, like extra per ride on top of that. So you can book up to 2 what they called high demand attractions for extra per ride per day.
Happy Travel Vlogs. I'm on the fence.
And they said pricing and attraction list were TBD. The only thing that we did hear, and you would see,
I heard that Rise is on it. Was that
Rise? They basically like were selling it as you'll still have the virtual queue for like Rise of the Resistance, but they'll have that on top of it. So it's like, oh, if you really want to and they're trying to sell like, oh, if you really want to make sure you get on Rise, you can guarantee it by just paying extra money.
Yeah. If you are going to Disney World, we have a video. Literally, when we went in June, we got on the Rise of the Resistance. We tried 4 times. We got on all 4 times. Don't pay yourself extra.
And pretty early.
Yeah. So and that I'm not worried about.
For those of you, any of you guys that'll either be down there for the 50th or right after the 50th, they said Remy's Ratatouille Adventure will be virtual queue when it starts.
So use that same strategy for Remy's Ratatouille Adventure.
Opinions now.
Okay, so here's what I wonder. Number 1, I am not using Lightning Lane at Epcot. There is no reason whatsoever to use Lightning, and that probably sounds a little more ranty, but there's no reason to use it at Epcot. So if I start the day at Epcot, if you can pick day by day, there is no way, because we're not big test track people, number 1. Number 2, you get there at Park Open, you go to Frozen, then you go to Soarin', and then as far as we're concerned, the big ticket rides at Epcot are taken care of. I was just going to say, I don't know what happens when Remy's Ratatouille Adventure and the Guardians of the Galaxy ride, but if Remy's Ratatouille Adventure is virtual queue, baby, we got that. So I'm not worried about it. I don't know if it's worth $60 like Epcot. I don't think it's worth $60.
And it sounded like
Lauren, you got to train. We'll practice.
And it sounded.
Hello, Melic Adventures. How are you? We are talking about the Genie Plus. So we're talking about lines.
It sounded like what they are going to set it up to where it's not going to be like you have to buy it for the length.
So you could pick and choose. I would buy it.
Like I think it was the guy that's the president of Walt Disney World. They quoted him, and he said something like, "They want to give you the guests the flexibility to use it as much or as little as you want." So it sounds like if you've got like, "Hey, on my I know this is my Magic Kingdom day that I'm starting at Magic Kingdom, so yep, I'm gonna do Genie Plus for that only that day. That way I can book that stuff." The other thing they did say is you will be able to do it like with park hopping. So if you've got a park hopper,
so it'll just apply all day.
Correct. It'll apply all day to whatever your parks you go.
I would use it for Hollywood Studios. Correct. And I would use it for Magic Kingdom. I would not use it for Epcot. I would not use it on an Epcot day. I don't know that I would use it on an Animal Kingdom day. Connie, hello, how are you? I don't know that I would use it on an Animal Kingdom day because we also, Lauren, we will be there. As I tell my theater kids, or if like my kids have a big exam or something, I say, kick butt, take names. So Lauren, kick butt, take names. Lauren. Now.
Thank you, Wish Upon a Disney. Susan. Thank you, Susan.
Go ahead. Show the back. Twirl. Twirl.
And then.
We got this. Yeah, we got this from the.
Squat. There we go. Yeah, this is, you're seeing my better side.
my gosh. Yeah, we got that at the outlet. It is, I hope that there's one specific Spirit jersey that we are looking for a very, very special lady, but I'm hoping that they have some others. So we'll see. Our girl, I agree. I don't like that I don't like the idea that there's like more money now to figure in. I don't like it. I would use it, like I said, I would use it for Magic Kingdom and I would use it for Hollywood Studios. But Animal Kingdom, our early morning strategy gets us like ready to take a break from Animal Kingdom at like 11:30 noon.
I'll be honest, I'm kind of glad that we don't have a trip planned right at the beginning of it.
Same.
Because I'd be interested to see. Here's one of the things that I would be upset about is if I said, "Yeah, I'm going to go."
And Davis family, if you're still watching, I want to know how you guys feel about this.
Like I would be, I'd be upset if I went and did Genie Plus, and I've heard people do this like Universal, because Universal has a pay ticket or a pay like quick system or whatever, and I've heard people complain like, "Hey, I bought that. But then I went to the park and all the standby lines were short." Like that would be one of those things where I'd be I'd be kind of not angry, but just like feel like I'm wasting stuff if all of a sudden it's like, hey, why did I spend the money on it if all of a sudden I didn't need to?
I mean, $60 is not for the four of us. It's $60. And that is not like, we usually budget. We're not huge eaters. So we budget like $120 for food. So that's half our food budget.
For a day. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So that's Connie and Susan. You said the same thing. Single rider line. We do single rider line all the time. We did it for Rock and Roller Coaster. We'll do it for anything because, I mean,
definitely
whatever.
For Everest.
Yeah, for Everest, we do single rider line. So all the time. Somebody asked a question that I put. Oh, Karen, will entry tickets still be the same? They are still doing the reservation. So if you want the Genie Plus, you have to get a reservation to the park and then you pair the Genie Plus.
And the way it looked was...
And wait. Before you go, before this thought leaves my brain, like I will be interested to see if there are options. I haven't heard a start date, Karen. Have you heard a start date?
They said like in the fall, so it sounded
means
like
before the 50th.
I'm thinking, sometime the next couple weeks
when,
in September.
Next,
like they're trying to get everything before October 1st. It sounds like.
So we'll see. Connie, they are doing basically the same thing.
Yeah.
It's going to be the back to the max pass pretty much, like $20 a day. I'm glad that we're not necessarily going. Matt, you and the gang can work out all the kinks.
what the different days look like and crowd levels and all the stuff to figure out. Are there certain days where you need to plan?
Yeah.
We kind of, the way we travel now, we sometimes are like, hey, I'd rather stay an extra day and enjoy an extra day of vacation as opposed to spending the more money and shortening the vacation. Like, hey, let's get an extra day and just take it a little more leisurely, even if we got to wait in some more lines. That's kind of how we've toured a little more.
Anywho, we'll see. Hard we'll see. So I don't know. I mean, it's just more money, which is tough. Exactly what Matt is saying. He's saying that he's always been proud that Disney doesn't have a pay to play. So it's kind of like, yeah, we'll try it. We'll do it at least one, especially in studios where we like to just go on Toy Story Mania like 4 times in a row because I love that ride.
Yeah.
I love that ride. I would literally fly down tomorrow.
And I think Toy Story, or I think Hollywood Studios has the most. While Magic Kingdom has more attractions, Hollywood Studios has more of those ones that get long lines.
And Hollywood Studios also gets very, very crowded.
Correct.
Like, it does not have capacity, so that's where it might be worth it, as opposed to, like, Magic Kingdom, where you can always find something that's 20 minutes, even if it is Swiss Family Robinson Treehouse. All right. The other thing we want to talk about before we get to the unboxing, we watched the Herding Cats. Do you teach? That's what I always tell people I do for a living when they ask what I do, is I say I herd cats.
So,
before school starts.
Middle school.
And welcome Herding Cats. So we are not going to go during Boo Bash. We do not have our next trip planned, with Mary going to school and us going back to school. Once we go back to school, he coaches cross country, and so he starts the season and I direct the fall play. Then we have a little baby kind of window of opportunity from like Thanksgiving through New Year's, and then my spring musical directing starts. So we don't, I was really, really hoping that we would get down there for a weekend, but I don't know. We'll see. But we do not have anything planned. We're trying to figure out what next summer. Oh, Connie loves Disney. Oh, I'm jealous. Very, very jealous.
Well, tomorrow.
Are you going? Do you vlog when you go? So you should vlog. Put it on your channel because I'd like to see I'd just like to see it. So now let's talk about What If real quick. We watched literally 2 hours ago. We watched the What If with T'Challa being Star-Lord.
She's not. Yeah, you're.
Say why you don't necessarily think that it's the most magical thing ever, and then I'll say what I realized about it.
I like it. Mary put it well that it seems a little heavy-handed. Like it's not the draw of a lot of the Marvel movies is the like quick and the subtlety of like the Easter eggs that when they have Easter eggs in there.
Connie, I'm so jealous.
The subtlety of them and the comedy and the quickness and the just a lot of that. What If seems a little like they're kind of hitting you in the face with like, hey, here's this reference or here's this joke or here's this character trait. It's a lot more heavy-handed.
And I thought that Black Panther as Star-Lord, I thought what they were going to take is like put it into the humor of the Guardians movies and franchise. And they didn't. That's not what they're going for.
No.
But so, you go in, you expect that it's going to be like lighthearted and laugh. But Connie, see it because I think it's interesting. It's just, like halfway through this week's episode, I started going, my latest thing, people, is I'm making candles. So that's a whole nother thing. And smell our kitchen. Right now our house smells like apples and like Tuscan herbs. So anyway, that's until I get my act together. We're a couple of weeks away from that. But I walked away. It didn't draw me in. What I do like is that they didn't take the humor of Guardians and put it into the Black Panther world and character. What they did do was they took the layer of T'Challa, who is very caring for other people and this individial who will sacrifice everything for his land and his people, and that's what carried over into how he handles. He's a not a marauder, he's a what do they call themselves?
Ravager.
He's a ravager basically, and so he took that and they brought that aspect of Black Panther into the rap. That's what I said.
Matt, and that's what
I said.
Mary
I said,
like,
why
the Star
are they
Lord
calling it?
is not. You're not a Star-Lord. Like that's his name.
Like I'm not a Skywalker.
Yeah. Like that. Yeah. Mary said the same thing.
Yeah. Completely agree that the Star-Lord is not like being a Jedi.
Yeah. It
is like you don't have multiple whatchamacallits running around. You don't have multiple Scarlet Witches running around. Like it's the vision.
I guess the bottom line is with all of the Marvel stuff, and Mary and I said this afterwards, I'm ready to start seeing the bigger picture a little bit more.
Karen, no preview for the Eternals. I haven't seen.
Yes, Mary and I just watched it. Mary and I literally, while she was up here setting up the camera, all of a sudden we saw that the Eternals.
I told you. I said I'm up here doing all the tech stuff.
And not if you haven't seen it, I don't want to ruin it. But
Lisa, so you know the show. You know exactly what's going on in my kitchen right now.
like what the Eternals trail, like that's what I'm waiting for. Where you're starting to see like, oh, this is now the bigger pic. I think Eternals is going to be starting to be, this is the bigger picture. This is kind of the bigger story that's going on that starts to link all these things together. Because like we watched the phase 1 through 3 in like a year. We came in at Infinity War and binged watched it. And it was like, we saw this whole thing. And now, I think especially with COVID and everything got pushed out a year, it's like we've been a long time since all of a sudden, like, Thanos at the end of Endgame to now what comes next.
Hey, Kelly, how are you? How are you? Welcome. We're talking about the Marvel Universe.
And so I think, I'm hoping that Eternals is like, gonna be that kind of like switch to like, hey folks, all of these things, this is where we're going.
A direction, because there's a lot of different pieces, and so we just need to know like what we need to put it all on a plate. Even if we don't connect the pieces of the puzzle, let's put all the pieces onto a table.
Well, and like so like Mary and I were saying, we looked back at like when you look back at like leading into the first Avengers movie. You didn't know everything in Thanos and all of that stuff, but you all of a sudden like was like, oh, there's a bigger story here. Yeah. Like the Avengers started to bring all that together. Yeah. So that's what we need.
So we'll see. Do you know what the last one is? Is there one more? I think there's one more.
What?
Question mark? What if?
I think there's a bunch more, actually.
Oh, a bunch more. I mean, we'll keep watching because...
I mean, and again, if you haven't seen it yet, like, give it a shot. I mean, they're not terribly long.
Watch WandaVision first. Watch Loki first. I really did not like the Falcon and Winter Soldier, so just watch the end of that one. But anyway, now, before we all go raid Lauren's stream, we want to do an unboxing. We unboxed... These are so cute. I have to manual focus the camera, so if I hold it up, like, you're not gonna be able to see it. But these are little cute Dumbo pins, and they're sparkly and they're chibi pins. So we wanted to unbox another couple. So far of this set, we have 3 of these, and they are just the sweetest little things ever. I want the Timothy Mouse.
The Timothy Mouse is
so
cool.
let's all try and manifest a Timothy Mouse. We have 3 little Dumbos. We have Dumbo flying. We have Dumbo just looking all sweet. We have Dumbo with the magic feather. Go ahead. He's off. He's just throwing stuff to the side.
Ready?
What do we have? I'm not going to drum roll. Drum roll. Apparently, we have another Dumbo.
Another Dumbo.
That's the third one.
In my bag? I do.
Oh, he does have it on his bag. I'm going to put that one on my lanyard, I think. You know, we're finding uses for all these doubles. Pretty soon, we're going to start putting all these doubles on, like, Pepper's keychain. So Pepper, our little Pepper, is just going to be... We'll bring Pepper in for the next live stream next week. So let's do the last one. So we'll just do these 2 because I don't want everybody... I want everybody to be able to get a snacky before we all go to Lauren's stream. So here we go. No sweet little Dumbo looking up. Karen, you are too kind to us. Karen, would you like a Dumbo? Karen, you email us your address. We've had it from way back when. Karen, you are a darling. You are absolutely darling and too kind. And Susan, you guys stop. You guys, thank you. Thank you. We're just 2 fools who are sitting here unboxing stuff and rambling on about Disney.
We should like our description of change is 2 idiots like open
2 idiots who unbox stuff
on YouTube. That's
so
all.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you both. And we have 2 doubles. So we have, if you watch our Dumbo unboxing, we have a double. Karen, I'm going to send you this magic feather. All right. And then we also have like sweet little Dumbo. So here we are. We have more. So so here's what we're all going to do. First of all, thank you everybody for joining us. I'll say this at the end of every single episode. It's fun to talk. Ooh, Kelly Shrimp Talk. You're being fancy on a Thursday. We had just boring old spaghetti. And then Aiden just rewarmed pizza. Can we talk about, for just one brief moment in time, 16-year-old boy who just shovels food in his mouth like it's going to be taken away at any moment.
At all hours of the night. It's 9 o'clock. Buddy, what are you doing?
What are you doing? I'm hungry.
He's like eating pizza. I'm like...
Yeah. So, yeah. So here's what we're going to do. Thank you so much. Karen, Susan, thank you. And thank you everybody for joining us and you know, helping us smile and helping us. This is something that we've come to look forward to.
I totally, like all day today at work, I was like, oh, it's wing night, baby.
We pass, again, we work in the same building as Matt. So like, it's wing night, baby.
I did. And Matt turned around at me at our try to tell you this story. We had to do something like talk about our summer. He turned around and was like, you better have something about 2 tiny wings on your, like, what happened over your summer. I sure did.
Wait until, like, this is just empty halls. Wait until there are, like, kids in the halls and we're like, yeah, it's all right. It's all right. It's going to be great. Anyway, so Lauren now has a live stream coming up on Castles, Capes, and Clones. So let's all get our little snackies, get a drink, head on over to Castles, Capes, and Clones for our little weekly raid, and it's going to be great. So this was good.
Yeah.
We'll come back next week. We'll unbox something else. We'll think about our next little what if.
This was fun.
This was fun. Thank you. Thank you as always. Thank you for liking.